At night on the 9th of June 2024, my family finished our trip to Xinjiang, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Uzbekistan, and we returned to my birth city, Dalian, in northeast China. It's been so many years since I was back here during summertime. We will be here for about a week before heading to our next destinations. So, let me show you what I did back home here. We went to the southern tip of the peninsula, the Lüshun district, on the coast of the Yellow Sea. Spending a summer afternoon by the seaside, the cool breeze that made it feel like spring instead of summer. It was amazing. Dalian, being a coastal city with a peninsular geography, receives sea breeze from 3 sides during the summer, effectively cooling the city as the rest of the inland of northeast China begins to heat up. Like heck, Shenyang is at 30 degrees Celsius while Dalian is still 19 degrees Celsius. It's amazing. Pretty cool to have traveled from the Black Sea to the Yellow Sea right here. Also, we passed by Stalin Road, which reminds me of the Stalin Museum that we visited back in Gori, Georgia. So I made these 2 pics from the Black Sea to the Yellow Sea, and from Stalin Museum to Stalin Road, both from Georgia to China. Then I also took some pictures of a victory monument built by the Soviets. A little historical side note, when World War II ended and Japan surrendered, the occupied territories in most of China was returned to Kuomintang control, but northeast China remained under temporary Soviet occupation before it was handed over to the Communist Party's Liberation Army, where they would fight and win the Chinese Civil War on mainland China. Except for Lüshun district, which was used by the Soviets as a naval base and thus leased for a few years longer than the rest of Dalian and northeast China. The CPC won the Civil War in 1949, but Lüshun was only returned in 1953. Thus, the Soviets had a few more years in control of this area and resulted in this district having a more Soviet and Russian-influenced building style and monuments. Now here there's a PLA naval base that I unfortunately can't visit because I'm not a Chinese national, and as a result, more Soviet monuments were left here and some street signs are displayed in Chinese and Russian instead of Chinese and English, similar to cities and towns near the China-Russia border crossings. Also take a look at this sign that says the boundary between Bohai and Huanghai, or the Yellow Sea. It's a hint of where I'm going to visit in a later episode. At night, we went to take a stroll at the beach near Xinghai Park and gazed at the night view of the beachside buildings and the Xinghai Bay Bridge. I hadn't taken a night stroll by the beach in so long. It felt so nice, so great to be able to enjoy the night sea breeze, calm and at home. Then, the next morning, I found this parking lot. I think I don't need to elaborate on what's wrong or peculiar about it. Just gonna leave it to y'all to figure it out. Then we went to an ocean theme park, the Sun Asia or Shengya Ocean World. There are so many aquariums of different aquatic creatures and an underwater glass tunnel to observe their habitat. A few shows with belugas, whales, dolphins, and seals/sea lions, etc. And some anti-shark propaganda. This is outrageous. Sharks are cute as fuck. Don't you dare spread misinformation about these adorable, stupid, friendly sea kitties. But anyways, other than sea creatures, there's also a polar world with penguins and Arctic foxes, and a mini aquarium with an axolotl. Oh my god, that was my first time seeing an axolotl in real life. It was adorable! Then there's also this section with more zoo-ish animals. And a lot of merch. Overall, I had a day of fun as a kid again. It was really nice. Another day, we went cycling near a reservoir. Dalian has a very mountainous geography and has forests right beside the city, and we rented a family bike and began cycling around up and down the mountain, through the forest and also to this river and reservoir. The water was very clear. It was natural and green all around. I think that thing right there is a water wheel. It's pretty great to be able to take in the nature and fresh air for reals. It'll be very hard to get such a holiday in the near future. Then another afternoon while wandering around the beach on the Yellow Sea near my grandmother's place, we passed by two statues. One of them was Confucius and the other one is Laozi, but I couldn't identify who was who, which was which. But anyways, that's okay. And also a few pics of seaside properties. That's about it. Then on the morning of 15th June, my mom and I are leaving Dalian. We were heading off to our next destination after resting, which was Dandong, right on the border with North Korea. It's going to be an interesting adventure, so please continue following my videos and stay tuned. I'll see you in the next episode.